In this video, we will be covering the Solana outage that happened on June 1st. It's the second Solana outage that happened in 1 month. And I want to talk about why it happened, what happened during this whole time, what does it mean for the future of Solana right here, and how does it compare to Ethereum? Because everybody to me seems to compare Solana to Ethereum, and how the fact that the Solana outage is okay and how that compares to basically, high gas fees. I don't know. So yeah, anyways, guys, hope you guys are having an amazing day. Welcome to today's show. Today's, show, video, I guess is what you call it. Here, basically, my goal is simple. My goal is to make you an epic Web3 builder, teach you how to build NFT projects, teach you how to build dApps, everything. So if you want to stick around for that, go and subscribe. Other than that, let's get into the video. But that's pretty much it. Hey. All right, let's do it. Okay. All right, so the first thing I want to cover for today is kind of what happened, honestly, with Solana, the whole outage, right? So I want to kind of go through here. So let's go through it really quickly here. What actually happened? If I go through some of the the text, and so this happened on June 1st. If I show you the Twitter here post, as you can see, block production on Solana. Mainnet beta has halted. Validator operations could prepare for restart. So basically, they had to restart all of Solana operations, which is pretty crazy, right? Not something you would want to do on a blockchain, unfortunately. So, okay, cool. Now, and then later on, they said that the blockchain leads to speculation that the durable nonsense feature contained in a DOS vulnerability that has caused nodes to disagree, breaking consensus. Now, what does that even mean? So I want to cover kind of that. What does all of this mean? And so the first part, like I said, let's go through, what caused Solana outage. Okay. And if I go through it, okay, a few things kind of come up. Let me go ahead and read through it for you. Okay, no, not this one, right here, this one. So basically, what happened is, let me see if I can show it to you. There was an error with the durable nonces. That's right. And what happened was that, durable nonces are presented and incredible potential of such transactions. Basically durable nonces are, they present a very small percentage of transactions on Solana, until recently, of course. But basically, imagine you have two computers who want to agree on transactions, and they want to make sure that this transaction is valid, and they want to double count it. And so what happened in this situation is the transaction was double counted, and that's not good, right? It's like, imagine this, okay? Imagine you went ahead and you wanted to pay $10, let's just say $10, and you wanted to send it to your friend, right? Well, double counting means this is one transaction, but if your transaction can be counted twice, then basically what happens is you can send $10 again, and you can send $10 twice. You see? And so basically you actually send $20, which makes no sense, of course. That's not good. So that's where nonces come in general. But I do want to talk about what is actually a nonce, number one, right? And there's a really cool application here called endersworth.com blockchain, if you want to check that out. But basically, a nonce is a random number that nodes use to guess, right? Which creates something called hashes. And it's specifically in Bitcoin, for example, in here. And it works also in the general blockchain as well. So for example, here, you can see that I have one block, right? This is a blockchain block, as you can see right here, right? Oh, this whole thing. Okay, perfect. All right. Now, in this one block, what we have is we have block one, we have a nonce, we have the data, and we have a hash. Okay, and so if I put any data inside here, for example, you see, then the hash changes, right? And so all of a sudden, this green turns into red. And you might be asking yourself a question, why is that? Okay, and the reason being is because a computer has to guess the nonce to get the correct hash. So for example, if I hit mine, give it 1 second, you can see that it changed the nonce number, which changed the hash to have 4 zeros. And so 4 zeros is what computers are doing to actually figure out if your transaction is fully valid. Okay, so they have to guess all this whole nonce number, okay, whatever that nonce number is.
Accessibility shortcuts.
Sorry, that just happened. We have to guess whatever this number is to figure out to get a hash with 4 zeros. Now, it's not the case with every single blockchain. With Bitcoin, I know that's the case. A few other blockchains, they work a little bit differently. But in general, a nonce is used to create validation for an actual block and to make sure, hey, this block is valid, pretty much, okay? So that's what I'll make sure you understand that, okay? And if you even go to like the blockchain side of it right here, right, you'll see it, right? The nonce is very important. If I change the data here, then everything else is invalid. The second I hit mine, watch this nonce change. Watch that nonce change, okay? If I hit mine, boom. Let's see. You see that nonce now changed, and that created 4 zeros. And so that made this block valid. And then what happens is I have to mine the second one now because, of course, the previous transaction has changed and so forth. And so it just keeps going, keeps going, keeps going. And so what happens with Solana basically is I think that they double counted the actual nonce, then the actual nonce, I guess they call it. And the double nonce, they call it, is used, as you can see, it's generally used to support transactions tied to avenues such as custodial services to produce a signature for the transactions. And mainly what this really means is this is used for custodian wallets. So custodian wallets are wallets that are not actually, connected to a network, right? And so a lot of times, they run a, custodial wallet, they want to centralize actually between each other, but it's not actually connected to the network itself. And that's from my understanding, okay? And that's kind of what I understand so far. And so what happens is that when you have the durable nonce, that is a number that's supported when the nodes are not connected to the network, right? So usually nodes, of course, if you think about nodes in general, right? Let me go on. If you think about, you have one node, second node, right, third node, and they're all connected together through a network, right? Through a network. This is a network right here, right? Well, you have these wallets that are not connected to the network, and instead they connect to each other. And so they actually have to figure out a nonce that will work to make sure that when they do come online, they work with the whole system, right? And that's a problem, right? Because if they're not connected to the network, then, then they might create a nonce that's exactly the same as the nonce that's here. Maybe one transaction had a nonce number of 1, and the second transaction had a nonce number of 1 as well. And so that's a problem. And so they created something called durable nonces, which took care of that problem. Now, how does this actually work? Honestly, don't fully understand that. Just be fully frank with you. But all I know is that they basically, it all went bad. Everything went bad. And so they had to restart everything. So if I go ahead and read it through to you, like I said, whoops, let's go back. A durable nonce is a way in which transaction can be, come on. A durable nonce is a way in which a transaction can be signed off a line ahead of time. Exactly, you see? And without requiring a recent block hash, which expires every 2 minutes. So every hash, remember that block hash I told you guys about, this hash, the one that's created every single time? This hash expires every single 2 minutes, right? So that's not good because sometimes, especially if it's in an offline network, then you want to make sure that, that nonce is valid for a long time until that your node becomes, goes online into the network, basically. And so if we just keep reading here, let me see, where is it? Where was it? We keep reading here. Usage has recently increased, particularly by exchanges, possibly due to their cold store setups. Exactly. So a lot of exchanges, they set up their wallets in cold storage. So for example, cold storage would be would be a wallet that's not connected to the internet, where the private key is nowhere into the internet. That's, for example, what's a cold storage wallet? It's like Tether, for example. Tether is a cold storage wallet, right? Trezor, or for example, like Ledger, right? Those are cold storage wallets, right? And so it's really important that they all work as well on the Solana blockchain. But what happened in this case, the bug would cause a durable nonce that is created and submitted in the same slot to be able to be executed a second time. Yeah, so it's like I said, imagine you sent money, you sent $10 to one friend, right? Right? And you're like, okay, and then you sent $10 to another friend. Well, technically, you can't really do that because once you send $10 to someone, you should have $0, correct? But not the case with this. The case that happened here was that you sent $10 and this had a nonce of like, let's just say 37, and this had a nonce of 37, and so they had the same nonsense pretty much, and then that made the whole thing break, and that's a problem. Okay, and that trigger when validators then noticed this, and then errors triggered indicating this transaction was already processed. Right. Well, luckily it did indicate. Luckily it did actually catch the whole problem, as you can see right here. Can I actually do this? Let me see. Do you guys see when I zoom in or no? I don't think so. I don't think so. There's a good thing. It means that it wasn't run twice. So that in this case, because they caught it, it does mean that this transaction did not run twice, right? So that is good, okay? But the question remains is how it got this far into the replay stage, and why validators can't recover from this error, right? That's a good question. Well, we don't have all the answers to the immediate While we don't have the immediate solution was clear. Disable durable nonces to ensure the network can restart, with a future gate to enable them in the future as needed and once safe to do so. Yeah. So what they literally did is, I'll show you here in the Twitter account. Interestingly enough, they disabled durable nonces. So if I go to the GitHub and I actually look at the code, you'll see this is this one line of change that changed everything for them, which is really interesting for me personally. It's like, look at this. So this red means it was removed, and green means it was added. Just so you guys know, if you think about like GitHub in general, that's kind of how it works, right? So in my case here, looks like what they did is they have a new transaction variable, and here you see how they used to check message for nonce right here. They don't do that anymore. They just removed it. so there you go. And I think this nonce was used for the durable nonce right here. Exactly. And even Solana, for example, if you look at the transactions here, right? Solana talks about durable nonces. Will include a recent block hash, and it will expire in 2 minutes. In some scenarios, we need to hold the transaction for a while, then send it, right? So when you have a cold storage, you want to create that nonce, hold it for a long time, and then have a process. To prevent transaction expired, you can use the mechanism durable nonce, and that's where that everything comes in. Let me see if I can actually find a transaction, how that's created. Use nonce. Yeah, this is I'm not sure. I'm not a big Rust guy. I'm a Solidity guy, so I don't really know this types just yet. Yeah, I don't want to confuse you guys, as I'm already confused. So, okay, all right, yeah. So basically, that's hello, my man, big fan. Yeah, what's up, guys? Good to see you. Good to see everybody. Cool. So that's kind of what happened with Solana, in terms of nonces. And what they literally did is they simply removed everything, removed the durable nonces ability. They removed the check for nonces, and that's it. And that kind of, I guess, fixed it. But that's still an issue, right? It's still not a core fix. It's like basically just putting like a little. It's putting a Band-Aid on top of a problem, instead of actually going to the core root of the problem and figuring it out, right? And so that's what they did. So yeah, guys, that's kind of my thinking. Now they're doing that. Now the second thing I want to talk about is the future of Solana. Right? What does this mean for Solana in general, right? For those of you who don't know, like Solana not necessarily, it's not a blockchain that's kind of like Ethereum. Ethereum is, you have a bunch of these nodes, right? So if you want to think about Ethereum is kind of like, right, you have all these nodes, they're all on this network right here, right? And they're all connected together, and they all work together, right? And so forth, right? Solana actually is decentralized in a way, but the Solana is actually also centralized in a way as well. So because the actual company actually sets up these nodes. So exactly. So a company sets up these nodes, and then that blockchain is ran on their servers. Right, and even though yes, it's many multiple nodes that all agree on a consensus, that still poses a problem because it's still a central company, right? Who basically controls the blockchain in a certain way, right? I'm not saying that everything. I still love Solana, right? I love the fact that it's a proof of work, a proof of stake concept, of course, and the fact that the transactions there are so fast that makes it so much more appealing, right? And so my only problem is for Solana, like they have gone down multiple times. Like if I look at Solana outages, they have had so many outages at this point. And so it's really hard to actually think about, You know, as you can see, look at this. Solana have a 7 hours outage as bots invade the network, right? So, I mean, that makes sense. That, of course, that works. And the whole Solana network kind of went down, right? But how can you just have like a full-on blockchain that goes down? Like, my only question, like, isn't the blockchain supposed to be something that runs all the time and doesn't go down? Isn't that the goal of blockchain? Isn't that the goal of, it's not just to give users the data, but it's also, you know, give you confidence, you know, in your data. And to me, what it feels like is when this happens, it doesn't really give you confidence. It actually gives you problems, and it makes you question a lot of different things. And so that's what I'm seeing basically from here, right? So you can see here, Solana suffered the second outage in a month. Like, look at this, guys. Like, second outage in a month. One of the biggest cryptocurrencies after Bitcoin, it fell more than 12%. Of course, the actual SOL right here. Let me see if I can zoom in on this. Can I zoom in on this? Yeah, I can. Has been gaining traction, of course, because of NFTs, right, and so forth. But there's so many times that Solana just went down completely, right? If you look at there's outages, look at that. It went down May 1st, the 30th of April. We have June 1st right there, right? So it had a good amount of times that it actually went down. That's not good for Solana, right? Because that doesn't give you confidence, right, as a user. I really doubt that gives you confidence as a user. I still think it's definitely going to be out there in the world for people to see and for people to use. It's not going down any soon, but I think it's not a perfect solution just yet, not a perfect blockchain. The third thing I want to talk about, guys, is Solana better than Ethereum? And that's because a lot of people compare. If I look at some of these articles, let me see if I look at the article here. What was it? Something about Ethereum. Maybe I can... Where was it? I'm just trying to find. This article mentioned how Ethereum, how even though Solana went down, that's okay because Ethereum has a bunch of gas fees, you know, which to me just makes no sense. Let me see here. Ethereum. I guess not. I guess I can't really find it somewhere here. But you know, a lot of people compare to, you know, they'll compare, for example, like Solana, right, to Ethereum, and it's really hard to compare that, I think, because okay, so think of a time when Ethereum went down. Yeah, think of it. There is none. There is no time that Ethereum went down, guys. That's the thing, right? If you look up Ethereum outages, for example, Ethereum outages right here, right? Like, and then hold on, let me see. Did they talk about Ethereum here? Ethereum. Yes, Ethereum can hold 11 transactions. Let me see here if I can find it. Host of Coin Bureau. Let me see. Yeah, so you can see, like, Ethereum, you don't really find Ethereum. You don't really find Ethereum outages, right? Compared to like Solana, right? Versus if you look at Solana, what you find is a bunch of outages. And so that's not really particularly good, I would say so. And that's a problem. That is a big problem. Let me go back to here. So Ethereum has Ethereum ever had an outage? Investors who had been focused in firm blockchain have suffered multiple outages. So, but the last year and a half, I guess it could suffered a few outages, but I really doubt that I've suffered many outages. All I know that for Ethereum, yes, the gas prices on Ethereum are high. Yes, and yes, it does handle less transactions right now. But it's not like the Ethereum whole blockchain went down, right? So you can't really compare those two things, right? Imagine like it's like losing your data, right? It's like losing your data when the whole blockchain goes down versus just paying a lot of money for your data. I mean, that's two different things, right? So you can't specifically say that. And so that's why I don't really agree with that statement when I see people say that. But yeah, but I think it's just really interesting, I personally think, and what happened with Solana, and you know, for Ethereum, it only just says that hey, it's a very valid network. It's a very popular network, and it's gonna continue being popular. It is one of the most, even though yes, the gas is extremely high. We are still gonna continue using it, right? If you think about like Ethereum capitalization, market cap. Oh, Ethereum market cap versus, like, for example, Solana market cap. You'll see that Ethereum market cap stands very firmly at, look at this, guys, 400. Where was the number here? Market cap, right there. Ethereum currently stands at 497 billion market cap, while Solana is at mere 56 billion. So it's got a ways to go to get to Ethereum. It's got a ways to go. And so we can't really say that it's an Ethereum killer. We can't say any of that. And especially with Ethereum 2.0 coming out, I'm not sure if you guys know about this one. That one's going to be awesome. What is Ethereum 2.0? And the merge is going to continue happening. Like, that's going to be cool, because that's, what they say here, that's going to be more scalable, right? Ethereum used to support 1,000 transactions per second, because right now it only supports like 13 or 14. That's like nothing, which is like, that's just shitty. But yeah, it's going to be more secure and more sustainable, right? So the goal is to support thousands of transactions here. And right now we're at the merge phase, and then at some point we'll have more shard chains and so forth. So right now we're at this phase right now. So right now we're still testing Ethereum 2.0. And when that comes out and that becomes the main blockchain, I feel like that's when all of our fees and gas fee will just continue to go down. And I think that's pretty cool. So yeah, guys. So yeah, that's my explanation on Solana blockchain. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Does anybody here any questions? I think I have one question here. Hello, big fan. How's it going? Hey, good to see you. Let me go ahead and put you here. Oops. Let me put you on the left corner right here, because I don't know why that showed up over there. There we go. There we go. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, beautiful. Big fan of yours. Thank you, my friend. I very much appreciate it. Any other questions if you guys have, just let me know. But other than that, I think that's pretty much it for me. On the side of Solana, on the side of Ethereum. I want to keep doing. Let me know what other topics you would love for me to cover. I think I'm going to cover another amazing topic tomorrow as well. And so my goal is, I don't know, my goal is to actually have fun with these. My goal is to have fun with these YouTube lives, talking about things that I know, right? Things that I know, things I'm passionate about, giving you guys all the knowledge about Web3, about the blockchain, all that stuff. And of course, if you want to follow me on Instagram, right here at Naz Dumansky, I talk a lot about blockchain stuff, a lot about, crypto stuff. Not much crypto, actually, more so blockchain. I think that's pretty much it, guys. If you have no more questions, other than that, I hope you have yourself a great day. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. I love NFTs. I love this space so much, because you have no idea. Like, this space is so exciting to me. I'm at a point where, I don't know. Like, this is the only thing I want to do. Web3, blockchain. I'd love to talk to you about some of the projects I'm working on as well. We're working on some really, really cool NFT projects. Sir, make some projects on native React. I would love to make some projects on native React, but that's just not my focus right now, guys. That's just not my focus. But I think Next.js, for sure. Next.js I definitely could do. I can see that. Yeah. Alright, guys.